in our studios today is Betty Fischer, who is, Betty, you're the president of the farmers market, but you're kind of the queen bee down there. And Janine is, so now you've taken on a whole new life with farmers market. And I'm so excited because I know you guys have so many things coming up.
Actually, the farmers market is a year-round job for the people who plan it. We end at about the end of October, then we start planning, have an annual meeting where we elect new officers with all of the vendors, and then we start planning the next year immediately.
I know you've got quite a few vendors. How many did you say you've got this year?
23 as of now. We had 16, I believe, last year,
Uh-huh.
and we're still getting calls of people interested in coming to the market.
Well, now, and so they can still sign up for the market if they want to be a vendor there. Is that right?
Right. They would call me or one of the other officers or Lynn Hoffman, who's our market manager, and we can email them or send them our guidelines and registration form. And if they decide to come, they can still come.
It's very affordable, isn't it, Betty?
It's $100 for one parking place.
Uh-huh.
And that runs them for the entire season, from the beginning of the market, which was May 16th, through October 31st. We're extending the market an extra week.
And that's 2 days a week, isn't
Right,
it?
it's
Don't
for
you do
both
Wednesdays
Wednesday and
and Sundays?
Saturday.
Or Saturdays?
Right.
Saturday mornings?
Mm-hmm. Wednesdays from 2:30 to 5:30, and Saturday from 8 to 12.
There's fresh fruits and vegetables, but there's also bakery items. What else is down there, Janine?
We have, well, you mentioned the bakery items, and those are varied. We have a lot of people who bring different items, and you mentioned Emily with pies and breads. But we also have things that are unusual, like dog treats or mini breads. Lynn Hoffman makes what are called mini breads. We have jams and jellies. Those are also a favorite. We have soap. Particularly soaps made out of goat's milk and lotions.
That's Christy Harris, isn't it?
Christy Harris, and another vendor also is bringing products made with goat's milk. She attended one of Christy's classes, and she's just taken off with it as well. We have coffee, and we had Ghost Roast coffee last year. We have it back this year, and one of the new products with Ghost Roast is a facial scrub made with coffee grounds. We're going to see a nice flow, I think, of products that are going to be available at their peak. And that's one of the pluses, I think, of the farmers market.
And it's all regional. Well, and it's one of the things you're going to do is have periodic food demonstrations, talk about different ways that you can prepare food, have guest chefs in there that...
Right. One of the interesting things that has developed over the last couple of years is the popularity of these cooking demonstrations and food demonstrations, and this was born out of kind of an observation that Betty and I have had. When you go to the market and you buy, and I'm not talking the farmer's market, when you go to the grocery store and you bring something to the checkout aisle, and the clerk doesn't know what it is and says, "What is this?"
That happens a lot.
Yeah, what is this? And I recognize that many of them are young, and probably we don't have a cooking society like we used to. But
well, years ago there used to be something called home ec.
home ec, right?
I mean, that isn't at all anymore.
Well, it's long gone. That's true. So we decided that we were going to do some of these cooking demonstrations, and one of the first ones I did was it was an arugula and strawberry salad, and I made it and we served it, and people were going, "What did you say this was? Arugula? I never heard of it." And it was good. Okay. Talk about balsamic vinegar. Well, where do you get that? You get it here. We have it. It's not unusual.
Right.
We try to highlight things that are in season, and one of the things I made last year or the year before was garlic ice cream. And that was unusual.
Now that sounds unusual.
That is unusual, and people were surprised. And I don't know that it's something we're going to have a lot, but we're trying to initiate awareness of how to do these different
and how to eat
foods.
healthier. You know, it really doesn't take any longer to prepare foods from scratch than it does to go to the grocery store, pay a premium for something, and put it in the oven. It is not that difficult to cook foods from scratch. I think it's just because we've become such a society of I want it now. And I think one of the things that I know you guys work with Susan Turnbull and the whole art association group that you're pulling together and trying to get this. And what's the thing that is down there? It says art or food is
To share food is to share life.
Oh, good. You guys did that in unison. That was really good.
One of the nice things about the market is we are so fortunate to have this dedicated space. And the
Uh-huh.
Art Association has just made it
That
so,
much better,
so
isn't it?
beautiful. And that's been an interesting partnership because at first it doesn't seem like it would be one that would fit. But isn't it amazing?
It's all quality of life types of things.
Yeah.
Well, it is, and each month we're having a person who's designated to be the farmers market educational person from the Art Association, Sean Snoddy. She's going to do a children's art project. This last Saturday, our first Saturday, she did face painting, and then she had little
Yeah.
pots that they used
Uh-huh.
mosaics on and
Right.
and glued them on. So it's really very nice to have that. I mean, part of our mission is educational, like Janine said. We're trying to tell people that no, we don't have eggplant in May, but come back in July, but come along the way and see all the products we have. And one of our board members, Angela Humberg, is a registered dietitian. She's going to be doing recipes and meeting with the vendors to find out what are you going to have in the next 2 or 3 weeks. I'll try to do a recipe
That would
that
that
would fit.
reflect
You can buy
that.
your ingredients
Uh-huh.
here at the market.
And the thing that we did with that, or Susan set up, was that we made all these samples, and then they had towns people.
Yeah.
We had the librarian, Gary Landeck,
Mhm.
and all kinds of other people who got drafted by Susan who can do that.
Mhm.
Serving all these people on the mall. I mean, so people were coming over, and we had fried green tomatoes.
Right.
I couldn't believe how those were received. I mean,
Yeah,
more and more.
everybody loved them.
Fried green tomatoes.
And
who
you
knew?
think, oh, that was just a movie, wasn't it? No, it's actually
Well,
something
it's
that people
delicious.
do.
And people were hanging around because we had the Athcison Jazz Express.
Uh-huh.
And people just really stayed to listen to them. And we're going to have them this year.
Great.
We were going to have the Juneteenth folks come down this Saturday,
Uh-huh.
and the Versatiles, an R&B jazz band, but they're having to postpone it a week until the 30th. Then we're having Dixon and Reed, Lois Reed and Jim Dixon. They do folk music. Justin Harris, Christy's son, is going to come with his group and play occasionally. So
He's really good. I've heard him play out at Christie's when she has her festival. And those people are, I'll tell you, those Harrises, you can't beat them. They are wonderful, wonderful additions to our community. All of them are. So,
one of our new vendors, we forgot to mention when we were talking about baked goods. This isn't exactly baked goods, but Gina Black does homemade noodles.
oh, isn't she cute?
Oh, yes. And so,
dedicated.
Organic.
Uh-huh.
We have more organic. None of our vendors are certified organic, but there are several of them who follow organic practices when they're growing their
It
produce.
takes a lot to be in that certification category.
Well, it
I
does,
believe.
and around here it's almost impossible because of possible
Overspray.
wind
Mhm.
overspray. Right,
Yeah,
but
it's real hard to do that because you have to have such an area in between and
Right.
and it's just it's a hard certification to get. But if you're utilizing the principles of it, you're getting some of the same advantages
Right.
of it. You're just not in a certification area.
Something else that, again, it goes back to education, but our vendors are awfully knowledgeable about what they grow. So not only may they give you a recipe for something, but they also can tell you, well, this is an early bloomer, and when this one's ripe, it's pink on the outside and blue on top, or whatever it is. I mean, they really do tell you what to look for if you're going to buy their product.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you don't find
And they're using them.
and they're using the products,
so-
but you don't. Again, that's something you don't get at your grocery store because there's not the variety there. One of the funny things, though, as people after they get used to the market, they want to know, do you have bananas? And
We do.
We're not sure about what part of Kansas
You're
grows
gonna grow
bananas.
bananas?
But yes, so we do have some interesting requests that we can't
Now,
fulfill.
you guys, you want some diversity there.
Yes.
What if you had your wish list of more vendors? What would you like to have?
federally certified meat products and fruit. We need more fruit vendors, and we may be getting some. We've had some people show interest, but it's later in the season for most things. Although the guy who sells asparagus has great locally grown strawberries, but we may have some of those. But meat vendors.
So, any of you meat vendors that are out there, or if you're thinking about it, it's not too late. You can still sign up for the farmers market. If you've got an idea, give these ladies a call because they are so dedicated to this and have worked so hard, and it grows every year. I'll tell you, I was so excited when it was last Saturday, and I'm like, yes, it's finally open my Saturday mornings, because I'm down there. I try to be down there every Saturday. And where should they call you? Who should they call?
My number is 709-5050, and my email address is longviewfarm3@gmail.com.
So if you're thinking about joining Farmers Market, you've only missed one time, and you can sign up. It's a great opportunity. So, okay, tell me about, because I have to hear about this bundle giveaway. You haven't talked about that.
We started actually, I think when Mark Hirak was head of the board, he started that. And what it is we have people sign up during each month, and it has to be a new sign up each month. They give us their name, their phone number, how we can reach them,
So
and
it's
their
the
email
first-
address.
The first week.
Right,
Is that
but we
right?
have them sign up the whole month, and then
Okay.
on the first week of the following month, the first Saturday, we draw a name, contact
Okay.
them, and each vendor adds something to a huge bag of produce. It can be baked goods, it can be vegetables, fruit, potted plants, bedding plants, everything.
Well,
And it's been a very popular.
I would think so,
addition.
and that helps you guys because you're collecting names, and we talked about it just a little bit. If you get an email or a text, it's like, oh yes, I am supposed to go there. I can't tell you how many times I've told people about the farmers market, and then then they ask me about where do I get fresh produce, and I'm like, did you not forget I told you the farmers market was Saturday? And they'll go, oh, I forgot.
Well, and that reminds me that we're going to have a new service. We're just beginning it, and this Saturday I'm going to be walking around requesting how do you want to receive texts, and we'd be glad to send you a text. We can send you one for the Wednesday and the Saturday market, maybe after it's started, and just say, hey, market's open and we're doing strawberries, or hey, there's a cooking demonstration, don't forget the market today. So I will be walking around. We will not send you any solicitations, but we will send you a
It's
text
more information
message
because you're
about-
doing something every week.
Right.
You're doing something different every week. Cooking demonstrations, all kinds of things that you're doing, and I think people would. I'm going to give you my telephone number, girlfriend. You send me a text at 367-2242 and let me know what's going on, and I'll warn everybody in my office
Will
they need to
do.
get down there and see you too.
Will do.
Good.
Okay, we would like to remind everybody that at the market we do take cash, of course, credit card, debit card, and SNAP cards. For those, we will have to have you visit our market manager with a card sliding machine that we
Card
have.
reader.
Card
It's a
reader.
card reader.
And of course, we also take our own gift cards that are for the market specifically. We take senior nutrition vouchers. We take Chamber of Commerce cards and certificates. And if there is something, the only card we do not take is the Discover card.
Or American
or
Express.
American Express.
But you take a number of different credit cards.
We take
so-
Visa, MasterCard.
And you can talk to Lynn
primarily.
about
Sure.
that. So,
Right.
and real quick, you have a Facebook page.
Yes, we
and
do.
And you post on there the things that are going to be coming up. Is that right,
We
Betty?
have a blog page.
Uh-huh.
It's Athcison Farmers Market WordPress, and we post on it. That is sent out twice a week to the over 300 email addresses that we have. Plus, Barbara Bramlett, one of our board members, does a Facebook page, so people can post to that. They can like that page, and we have this challenge that if we get 15 new likes, Buttermilk the cow may return this year.
Ooh, and I heard about Buttermilk. The kids love her coming. So I think that sounds cool. And you've got petting zoo coming up. I'll
Yes.
tell you, ladies, we're running out of time. But you were worried about trying to fill this amount of time, and I could ask you 10 more questions. You guys all have to just go to the farmers market. There's some fantastic vendors down there that are doing great homemade, homegrown products, and you got to go. And I wish we had time to mention everybody because I love all of these vendors that you have. They're just terrific people. Will you guys come back and see me again?
We will.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And remember, call me for everything real estate. 367-3116.
No one knows the country like we do.